Hey,
The Crucible Podcast is back.
the Crucible guys, welcome to the Crucible
We are
Podcast.
back.
I am Husky, aka Emil,
I
and
am Paul.
Paul Wall.
Hi.
It's the people's champ.
Episode 28, still unsponsored by anybody, especially Prime.
Hit us up, guys.
Sons of bitches.
Pauly, we got some cool stuff today. It's kind of like a little bit of a show and tell, but also a little bit of education. I saw in the chat, if you tuned in last week, you would have seen our good friend Sean D'Souza. He popped in.
God, I love that guy.
He's so cool, man. So today in his exclusive chat, he has this little chat room. There was a little bit of buzz and talk about KOMSCO Mint and who makes these pieces, right? So specifically, if you guys
come in there and ask a question, he's like, it might sound silly. Well, let me tell you, the only silly question is the question not asked.
Absolutely not a silly question.
Write that down.
So this is what was in question. These shields, right?
Yes.
And his question was, are these all the same? Like the style looks the same, right? They're stackers. They're really, really highly detailed. Are they all KOMSCO? And so it was really cool because he gave us a little bit. Sean gave us a little bit of education on it, explaining that yes, KOMSCO kind of is the, I guess, the source of them or whatever the marketing platform for them, but the actual distributor and the mint is something called Today Ltd. If you haven't heard of them before,
LTD. And I haven't. You actually turned me on to it today on Instagram. I'll just drop their name, today.ltd on Instagram.
That's right. So you can check them out. Really cool stuff that they put out, and they will show you the stuff before it's even available. So like this new one, I think it's like the hands holding a little armadillo lizard or something. That
beautiful piece.
I saw that 2 to 3 weeks ago because it was released a while ago, and just today they announced the sale of it. So it's
interesting fact about that. It's the kind of the first 1 ounce stacker from that KOMSCO / Korea / what have you kind of stackable, unique, beautiful looking pieces.
That's right. And so most of their stuff came out starting with 2 ounces.
Yes.
And then they went to kilo format. And then you're holding one that is a 2.5 ounce. Check this out.
See what happens when you don't use something for a while. Right here. Let me do this quick. Right here. Yeah, 2 ounce St. Michael sword. 2.5 ounce. I'm sorry. This thing is a beauty. It is a beauty. And when they were selling these or when they came out, there was actually a picture, and I paid no attention to the picture, but there was a credit card laid next to it. And it didn't even make any sense until I actually got this in hand and then looked at the picture again. I said, well, yeah, that makes sense. Look at it. Look how big it is compared to a credit card.
So it was for size reference.
Yes, for size reference. I paid no attention to that picture. I might have said to myself, why the hell is there a card sitting there? But it was there for size reference.
I usually use credit cards for size references as well.
That's what you do.
So they have other cool pieces too. I believe this was what was this, 1/2 ounce, right? Oh, if you can see it, there you go. Little itty bitty shield, also a stacker.
And again, Sean did have some of those extras, so I do have some of those on the way, but just with other stuff coming. I'm just, stuff's coming and going.
And they even have a lunar series. So these, if I'm not mistaken, this is a lunar dragon, but if I'm not mistaken, so these are actually not marketed by KOMSCO, right? So KOMSCO, as I understand it, doesn't even market the sword that you're holding. They do, however, they do market the shields. These are KOMSCO. So yeah, it is a Korean company. I want to say their technology is unparalleled. You look at something like, and actually this is something I meant to ask Sean, is what his take on why some of these foreign mints have so much better technology in play than the U.S. Mint. U.S. Mint's supposed to be the premier mint with, the biggest influence globally as far as
they haven't changed anything. They haven't changed anything. I mean, shit, look at the Royal Canadian Mint, what they do with some of those infused maple leaves. I mean,
beautiful pieces, man.
They are. It's not a huge change, but it's something different, and it's just, they offer it.
Yeah. And it kind of makes you
That's
wonder
the difference.
why is there such a wasted opportunity with the U.S. Mint? But that's neither here nor there. It's more of a question to ponder. KOMSCO, or I should say Today LTD, has some really awesome technology in play. Like I couldn't copy
You
this
turned
if
me
I
onto their
tried.
Instagram page, and I was excuse me. You turned me on their Instagram page today, and I was surprised that all that stuff, I've never seen it. I followed them. All that stuff popped up that I've been recently buying. And as you said, like it's there earlier than you can actually buy it.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get them on the show maybe for a future broadcast, but just stay tuned. We got some big hitters coming up in future shows. It's gonna be pretty awesome.
I must have missed that email.
You must have missed it. You must not have gotten
I know
it.
somebody missed the email, but we're not bringing that up.
We're just busting balls here. Pauly, what's your take on unlicensed products? Like, let's say
one came to mind. You showed me some backstage, right? And one came to mind that I think would do really well if it was a licensed version. And I believe you I don't know if you have one in front of you, but it would be, Pokemon,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen those. I didn't buy them only because they weren't licensed. That's the only reason I didn't buy a pile of those things, because I think they would do really well in the collector's resale market.
Yeah,
If
you're
they
absolutely
were
right.
if they were marketed right, if they were
Legit.
what you just said, yeah.
Licensed, yeah. So yeah,
Licensed.
these Pokemon ones did come out. I think they started with Pikachu, and then there was like
Yeah.
Bulbasaur, Charmander, and one of the other ones, Venusaur, Ivysaur. Anyways, they came out a while back. They sold out pretty quick, but basically,
Yes, they
it's
did.
like
They did still.
it's like, let's say you got Pauly, right? Paul, you wanna put out, I don't know, shoot, Care Bears. You want to make a Care
Oh,
Bear. Yeah,
there you
right.
go.
Let's say it's one of your kids' favorite things growing up, a Care Bear
Patent
thing.
pending.
So, right? Or Snorks in my case. I love Snorks.
The
And
Care
so
Bears was it back then.
yeah. And so you go and you reach out to one of these mints, you shoot them a design, and they make it for you, and then you start selling it unlicensed. Now, what's to stop? I don't know, who is it, Hanna-Barbera or whoever owns Care Bear,
Yeah.
from coming after you, right? So you take ownership of a lot of risk there, but there's a lot of these pieces that come out all the time that are unlicensed.
You see that a lot with poor artists as well. They will take a piece, a coin of anything that may have a little bit of relief on it. They'll push it down into some kinetic sand.
Yeah.
Then they'll pour it. You just copied that trademarked licensed design, and now they sell it on their own. I see it a lot. I mean, and it doesn't even have to be that. It could be, I've seen people take GI Joes and push them down into kinetic sand, them little plastic figurines, or not the GI Joes, but them little plastic army dudes,
Green
right?
Army men. Yeah.
Those things are how old? I mean, I had them when I was a kid growing up. That's what we used to do. We used to set up boards, and you try to knock every little army guy down, almost like playing chess, right? But with little army dudes and little catapult launchers and stuff. But I've seen them, take them, and isn't that like wrong? I guess
That's a great question, because I never thought of it that way. Like, if I were to take I don't
anything
know,
and do it.
the head off of a Wolverine figure and shove it into sand,
Yeah.
and then pour that. I didn't make that. I didn't design that.
No, it's like you can buy a Honda generator, or you can buy the rip-off version Bauer from what the hell's that place? Not Home Depot, but hell, we just got one in our area. It doesn't matter. But it's just a knockoff Chinese version, a worse Chinese version. They don't care. Yeah. And I hate seeing it around here. And especially in this community. I mean, you see it all the time, and then people go crazy for it.
They do, because they don't readily produce these. So like, I know Ninja Turtles bars came out not too long ago. They looked really cool. I didn't pull the trigger on it because I was like, man, if it was licensed, I'd be all over it. But I don't know.
There's a lot of that stuff, and that's what it always comes down to for me is the licensing. It's definitely the licensing. And again, when it's licensed, it does cost a little bit more money, but you have that, I guess, sweet little peace of mind that, hey, the company that owns this product said it was okay for these people to make this.
Right. Yeah. Here's an example of one that I got
We got
tucked
there.
away.
Pac-Man.
Easy way to know that it's not. It's most likely not licensed. Is you flip it over and you see one of these generic backgrounds.
Yeah, little generic background because, and I do. My wife loves playing Pac-Man, Miss Pac-Man. We have the game down here in our basement, stand-up tower, game. And I bought her those 30th anniversary Pac-Man and Mrs. Pac-Man coin, which were licensed products.
That's right. Here's another one. Just think about that. SpongeBob on a skateboard.
Ah, SpongeBob.
Yep.
Nickelodeon coming after you.
All right. Who's this?
Yeah, we just talked about that one. That's the Afghani ripoff of Curious George.
It's
Johnny
Afghanistan
Chimpo.
animation.
Yeah.
Yeah, Johnny
God,
Chimpo
was a good movie.
This is from Super Troopers. If you haven't seen it, hilarious movie. Absolutely
definitely
hilarious.
Check it out. You've never seen it.
But I can almost promise you this is not licensed. And if it is, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat or in the comment section. I'm fine with that. I'm totally allowed to be wrong because I'm a co-host.
But was it even okay? Well, let's just take a step back.
Sure.
Johnny Chimpo. Is that just? I mean, is that
a trademark
actual
name?
No, but is it an actual show? Was it just something made up for that movie? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it might be licensed by what is the name of their something lizard?
It's
Broken
something
Lizard.
Goofy. Yeah, lizard.
Broken Lizard Films or
yeah,
something.
Broken Lizard. That's what it is. Broken Lizard Films. Yep.
Yeah. So
good.
Interesting.
What's the backside of it say?
Bedlam Metal. So Bedlam is a private minting.
Sure.
It's a guy. I know his last name is Bedlam. But yeah, they do some really cool work. I think actually for a while there, I think they were doing a lot of those nudie pieces.
Ooh.
So yeah.
Never seen that.
Versus, let's say versus these that were licensed.
Yep.
This is from
Rolling
your boy.
Stones. Yeah. Lucky you got that. Go back and watch that episode.
Yeah. What's the story here?
We gotta revisit that. That's the Rolling Stones. Steve Harris, Rob ripped a bunch of people off on some Marvel chibi things, and the Yellow Submarine.
Yep.
The Yellow Submarine by the Beatles. Yeah, I need to look into that. We'll look into that and maybe get back on that in another couple weeks. See if anything's come out. Black Panther. That's also from the Crown Mint.
Also, yep. Beautiful piece though. This was
coming out of Fiji. And that's what we were reading. We can get into it in another episode about some of their Coke products. He had a lawsuit on some of that Coke products about different denominations it's a big goofy lawsuit, but it was a lawsuit. So
yeah. Wild. All right. And this one is from Samoa. It's a 3-ouncer. It's the iPad.
Yeah, that's the old iPad holster.
It's a cool piece though.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's a cool. Yeah, I like that.
Had the little money dropping.
1 ounce?
No, 3 ounce.
3 ounce.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell I was thinking. 1 ounce, not an iPad holder.
It's a honker, man.
See it, Mr. Monopoly.
Unless it's really flat, could be 1 ounce. But yeah, so those are licensed versus unlicensed, and again, it's all. I guess the intrinsic value is going to vary from person to person. It's like, do you want to wear a Louis Vuitton purse, or do you want to wear a knockoff that looks just like a Louis Vuitton purse? So to some people it matters, to other people it doesn't. I guess it's up to you.
Yeah, sure. I don't wear it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't wear Louis Vuitton purses either. Not today, at least. Not on Wednesdays.
I still rock some Tommy Hilfiger though.
Do you?
Oh yeah, that's just an iconic brand to me. I've worn it forever. Nice. I think my Christmas outfit was new, and that was all Tommy Hilfiger stuff, and the original cologne, by the way.
That's cool. Yeah, there was a period of my life when I had a big old FUBU jacket, like a bomber jacket.
Yeah. There was some around here that had it, and I had one like that. Okay, now you know what the Tommy Hilfiger flag, the emblem looks like, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now picture that, but a huge goose down winter jacket.
Ooh,
I had it.
Yeah, man.
Expensive.
Hell yeah.
And a dog jumped on it and ripped it from here down because the material on the outside was so thin.
Yeah.
Oh, I was so pissed. I was so pissed.
Damn dogs.
I took such good care of that jacket.
Well, Pauly, this was great, man. Hey, guys.
Yeah, dude. So let us know in the chat. What do you prefer? Licensed, unlicensed? Let us know in the chat.
And don't forget, 5 ounce. CrucibleLive.com, Instagram at the Crucible Podcast, and YouTube at the Crucible Podcast. 3 ways to enter, 3 chances to win.
3 ways to enter, only 1 winner.
Only 1 winner.
Get entered. Get yourself entered. And on that note,
bruh,
we'll see you next week.